Hello and welcome to the Thursday show, your weekend hype train for 40K. And this week, the hypiest of hypes with the LVO. I am Dustin Henshaw, joined tonight by the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Adam Camilleri.
It's LVO weekend, ladies and gents, and this is going to be a hell of an episode. Strap yourselves in. We have 2 faction breakdowns for one event. You probably know what that means if you've been paying attention and you've been listening. But what's going on, Dustin? How you doing, dude? We're missing a man, but will not hold us back.
No, the show must go on, especially with this going on. This is the peak of 40K that we've seen the last few years coming up this weekend. So thank you for joining us here live in the chat, or later if you're listening to us, probably after LVO, because let's be honest, if you aren't watching us live right now, you're probably either playing this weekend or you're watching the awesome coverage from the FLG, the incredible event going on this weekend, right?
Yeah,
right.
So I'll be live streaming, commentating on the event with myself and Peter the Falcon with a huge swathe of supporting cast. Yourself being amongst them, mate. What are you going to be doing for us?
I will be doing some online casting as well, making sure that these all the ones that aren't being immediately cast are being kept track of. So when you guys pop over, you know exactly what's going on. I'll give you the lowdown on the tables in the field.
Wonderful. Paul, unfortunately, is still in transit on his way here. He had some delays on his flight. He was going to make it just in time to do the show, but unfortunately, he's still in the air. He's probably going to be landing just around the time we finish this, and then we got to go straight to that G-Dub preview. Some saucy stuff I hear, so tune into that as well. But it doesn't matter because we're joined by our lovely third party. Angela Lansbury will be here in loving support. My dude, the LVO, this is the pinnacle. You were going to be coming this year as well, and unfortunately, of course, this being a crazy year, you didn't manage it, yeah?
It was unfortunate. I was planning on coming. I was planning on playing. Even though I didn't get to as many events as I wanted to, I was going to come because it's LVO, man. At the very least, I was going to come and commentate with you guys live and help out. But unfortunately, this year was not to be. But I'm still here in spirit, and I will be here to help out with everything that you guys need in the meantime.
As it was for many, my man. So let's just jump in. LVO, Las Vegas Open. It is the crowning event, the flagship of the ITC and FLG, signaling the end of the season, end for a lot of people of a year's hard work trying to get their number one place, or their best in faction or best in region. And, come Monday next week, a whole new year, a whole new season begins. And with a whole new mission pack as well to really spice things up. So jumping into this event, let me tell you some figures. Let me tell you some numbers. So on sign up for this event, we had 1,032 people as of Wednesday who had signed up and had not listed themselves as dropped. So there was 92 more people, but they had listed themselves as dropped. And then there was 317 people who did not submit a list. So we're assuming that means that they're not coming either. So minus those from that, we're looking at around somewhere between 700, 800 people rocking up for game 1. Now, what that means is there are 370 people who didn't submit a list. What does that mean? What does that mean we have to do, yeah? What does
that mean? That means we have to shame them.
Yes. We have first up, for your viewing pleasure, we have the Dishonorable faction breakdowns. Because naturally, I had way too much time somehow, and I went through every single one of those lists and listed what they took. And I'm here to shame them because they did not list themselves as this faction. Shame on you.
I had the time to actually name all of these people too, but
I actually was going to do that. I was going to do Control F through all the Dishonorable names and see how many Dans didn't list their faction, how many Matthews, which is the most dishonorable name of 40K player.
We'll put the credits at the end. There'll be a list, one of those fast credits of all the names that are dishonored at the end of the LVO, just to make sure you all know you all didn't do it in time.
Beautiful. So let's get that up for you guys. The Dishonorable faction breakdown starts off with that Imperial 7 Sisters, 18 Custodes, 2 Admech, 3 Ashton Miltime, 6 Grey Knights, 3 Imperial Knights for a total of 29. And Dustin, I think we go tit for tat for this one. So why don't you tell us about the Space Marine super faction?
The Space Marine super faction will be 5 Dark Angels, 3 Space Wolves, 5 Blood Angels, 2 Ultramarines, 3 Salamanders, 7 Black Templars, 2 Iron Hands, 2 Raven Guard, 1 Deathwatch, and 1 White Scar. We almost have everybody represented in the dishonorable
section,
but not quite. So I guess the Crimson Fist guys are all okay. They know what they're doing.
Okay. Right? Yeah, they're fine. We need to have the shame bell from Game of Thrones ring.
We need to start doing that
perpetually through this, just ding ding shame. Chaos super faction, 3 dishonorable Chaos Space Marines, 5 T-Suns, 7 Death Guard, 1 Demons, 3 Renegade Knights for a total of 19.
Well, 3 Necrons, 14 Orcs, 3 Tau for a total of 20. And then a Xeno super faction.
Hive Mind actually, pretty dishonorable themselves. 15 Tyranids in addition to 1 Hive Mind and 4 GSC. My man, get your boys together. Get your ducks in a row. They're just not up to scratch.
Listen, the freaking 4 GSC players that finally show up and they don't even submit lists.
Well, it's a very GSC thing to do, right?
It is a very GSC thing to do. They don't want anybody to see what they're actually bringing. They don't even know what they're bringing yet. They haven't figured it out.
Artemis Steve just joined here. Sorry, I'm a minute late for the greatest show and for the big event. Dude, thanks for joining us. Doesn't matter where you're coming from. Wolf Priest Carl in the chat. Gani and Jay, I hear Australia had got the interwebs together from rubbing 2 Kiwis together. I see Adam has better internet as well from Mr. Sherman. Yes, thankfully, the lovely Rio Resort Hotel in Vegas, just off the strip. Beautiful internet for your viewing experience.
Yeah,
what's that last super faction, brother?
We got 2 mixed Eldari, 11 Drakari, 2 Harlequins, and 2 Asuriani to finish off the faction podium for all you dishonorable people. Custodes, Tyranids, and Orcs.
Shame.
Capping it off. Shame. Guys, come on.
But just looking at that even there, what a representation of Custodes. Like, and from no book to new book, that's a huge difference. Like, even on a dishonorable side of things, that's a lot of Custodes for like a full major.
Yeah, that is so many Custodes. And these are just the ones that didn't submit lists. Like, this is...
Exactly
we've never seen this many Custodes, ever.
And Tyranids and Orcs being right up there. I think fourth place was Drakari, and if you'll see, that's perfectly those 4 factions are perfectly mirrored in the full actual stats, which are coming up for you guys literally right now. And so these are stats of everybody who's listed a faction plus all the dishonorables. That's why I do the dishonorables, because for these big keystone flagship events, I want the full picture. So I do the dishonorables to make a little bit of a fun and game about it, and then add that to the actual stats for those listed. Now, one of the great things I'll tell you about all the stats we do for the Thursday show, guys, you can all do this. All the stats and the data that the team pulls for this show, anybody with a BCP subscription can go and look for themselves. All I do is Control F my way through all the factions and list down the numbers that the results show.
You hear that? You can be Adam Camilleri too.
You too can be as informed as me. In the chat, Britain, I'm guessing 43 Crusher Stampedes. That's not a bad assumption, is it?
That's pretty close.
It's actually pretty close. All right, let's get those actual stats up.
Get them actual stats up.
It looks like they're up for us now. Dustin, take it away.
All right, the Imperial Super Faction, we have 8 Imperium, 38 Sisters, 65 Custodes, 31 Admech, 19 Astral Temp, 50 Grey Knights, and 32 Imperial Knights.
For look at that total.
The total Imperial Super Faction at LVO is 243.
That's insane. Absolutely insane. That's like the Nottingham Super Major we just had the weekend before. That's like the total, and that's just one super faction here. But what do you make of that breakdown? 65 Custodes is insane, right? It's just absolutely mind-boggling.
Yeah, that is absolutely mind-boggling. There's a lot of armies that actually struggle into that matchup too. And Custodes, again, they're an easy one to build up, paint up, because they're very low model count, right? So it's easy to bring them in there, and they're strong right now. They're very strong.
Do you think that's what this is? Do you think that people are just like, oh, well, I've got a Custodes army, they got a new book, I'm going to have some fun? Or do you think they're actually a contender?
They are absolutely a contender. They are absolutely a contender. There's a lot of top Custodes player coming here too. And obviously the guys that are going for faction winning with Custodes, they're obviously doing that. But I think there's a lot of people that are bringing Custodes that haven't been playing pure Custodes, but they're just, it's time. It's time to bring them to LVO and really put them through the ringer, right?
Question: what time will the Dustin/Adam signing start this weekend? I have yet to sign anything for anyone. And Wolf Priest Carl, if you rock up and give me something to sign, I'll let you be the first. I'm not gonna. If you're not here this weekend, maybe I won't sign anything anyway.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is too is Adam needs to say something in order for people to recognize it a lot of the time, because a lot of people don't recognize it just because it's so grainy with his webcam a lot of the time. You can't tell, right? If you're wearing a tank top, that's a hint.
Exactly right. I've been wearing
something with a tank. Any Australian guy with a tank top, you're Adam Camilleri, obviously.
Well, I walked up to some of my mates. I've been wearing a big jacket, like zip up jacket, and a mask, and I'm enjoying the anonymity. I'm enjoying it's nice. But as soon as I open my damn mouth, everyone's like, I know you. You're that Australian guy. I had a guy from Iceland be like, oh, that's the Australian guy, to his mates. I'm like, I guess I'll take that. That's good enough.
Yeah, that's good.
And let's go down to that Space Marine Super Faction. 5 unlisted Astartes. Get your stuff together. There's only 5 of you out of 800, so we'll cop it, but still. lame. 21 Dark Angels, 22 Space Wolves, 13 Dark Angels, 13 Ultramarines, 13 Salamanders. That is really whack that they're homogenous like that. 30 Black Templars being the most represented Space Marine in attendance, 14 Iron Hands, 3 Raven Guard, 15 Death Watch, 6 White Scars. What do you make of that?
That's not too surprising. Black Templars coming out is actually kind of cool to see. I like seeing more the Death Watch, because I feel like Death Watch actually have a lot of play. Only 3 Raven Guard, and 2 of them didn't have their list in. So
yes, it's true. But how Raven Guard of them?
It's
very insurgent.
Yeah. A lot of Salamanders though. Is that all you fluffy players out there? Or is there a secret to them that we haven't figured out yet?
I was really surprised. I was very surprised to see that many Salamanders. That's the one that I think's like where the hell did that come from?
Yeah. That's like, almost as many as like Iron Hands. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly right. And Iron Hands, I think Iron Hands are, for the terrain that we're on, Iron Hands or Black Templars are the two sides of the coin for unless you're playing the super ultra meme Dark Angels list, which is either 30 or 40, snore your way through games, Terminators, where you just like deploy your army, go to sleep, wake up, and you got 85 points.
It's an easy way to get through 9 games, right?
That's true. You want to get drunk with your mates and not stress so much. Yeah.
That's what a lot of people want to do with LVO, right? This is the point of it. There you go. 21 people there for a good time.
Exactly. At least 21 people.
At least 21 people. We know that for sure.
Chaos Super Faction, 8 Chaos Soup, 19 Chaos Space Marines, 31 T-Suns, 47 Death Guard, 9 Demons, and 7 Renegade Knights. So the total for the Knights, which is interesting, is 39 Knights in representation, plussing the bad boys and the good boys together.
Yeah, but only 7 Renegade Knights. So are people just favoring the 3 Castellan build, or 3 Castellan? Whoa, nobody's doing that. Sorry, Makara. They corrected myself. They just like the 3 big knights instead of the all the little dinky ones, because that's we've talked about it before. The Renegades, they benefit more from the
war dogs,
like one big one, right? So
yeah,
which to me makes sense. I've actually been unimpressed with the smaller ones lately.
I am too. I think into the thicker meta that we've got at the moment, they're not as impressive.
That's the issue.
They loved the Drukhari MSU because they were just like dead raider, dead squad, just kind of picking up here, there, and everywhere. And of course they're immune to the poison as well for all the back chat. But now they just like go in and don't kill anything. They just don't kill anything. It's rough. What is cool there though? I'm actually quite a fan of the Castellan now at the moment. I think the Castellan is, especially the +1 damage Castellan that you can have from Yeah, either that or you take, if you didn't want to take for whatever reason and take Freyblade, you could take the Crast Headman's Mark Castellan with Cold Eradication and just be like, see all those Talos? I don't know how many you brought, but they're all gone.
They're all gone. Just take them off.
Pack them back up again. Yeah.
Put them back in your bag.
Pack them back up.
You're done.
Doesn't matter. Sorry. Castellan's Mark doesn't pop off on them. I mean, Crusher Stampede. Apologies. Because Castellan's Mark needs more than 10 wounds, so it's all the Diamond Carons.
I didn't know Knights well enough to correct you, so I'm just letting you go with it.
That's fair. I caught myself eventually. I always come back around.
Okay.
All right, next super faction, dude.
Xena super faction, 36 Necrons, 62 Orcs, and 15 Tau, the heroes, before the new Codex comes out.
Yes. That is cute.
I'm excited to see some actual Tau. I'm curious to see how they do before their new faction. They probably either going for their best in faction, or maybe they're just really excited for the new Codex. So like, all right, one last straw with the old one. I did that one time. I did that.
Dude, that's a fearsome amount of Orcs. Like,
that is a lot of Orcs.
We talk about Orcs a lot, and one of the biggest strengths that they have is there's no solidified top list of Orcs, is there? There's like you could face one of these 3 things, and they're all kind of different.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing we were talking about before, right? Like you can gear towards Crusher Stampede. You can gear towards Thick City. You can gear towards Custodes. You can't gear towards Orcs because there is no standard Orc.
Exactly right. I mean, you can skew for the one that's your worst into, but that's all you can do. Like that's
all you can do. Because if you skew towards like buggy spam and then you run into the Goths.
Exactly right, or vice versa. You skew for the freebooters and you run into the melee. I mean, Custodes is one of those as well. We realized as soon as you take the dense banner, the -1 to hit banner, that the freebooters, you don't need to be afraid of the freebooters anymore. They're all hitting on 5s and 6s. They can't really kill you. You've got enough transhumans and turn off rerolls and things to make that quite good.
Enough. Too many.
But then I've played Custodes into Orcs and just been overwhelmed. The Orcs broke you back. Like they just got into you too quick. But anyway, I'll let you do the hive mind as well because it's your baby.
Okay, this is my baby. So 9 hive mind, 62 Tyranids, and 18 GSC. They're finally coming out, although 14 of you guys didn't put your lists in.
Yes, 14 out of 18.
14
Shame.
out of 18.
Shame bell rings.
Shame. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? Just suddenly show up with your list on paper. It's all on paper now.
Dude, they're lying in wait. That's it.
Of course
That's
they're
just
lying
part
in
of
wait.
this.
This is the only thing we do.
How many CP is it to get away with not putting your list? Not a list.
You know what? It should be a CP penalty. Don't even worry about the points. It should be you lose 3 CP.
Yeah.
3 CP.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
4 CP to list your faction as something you're not taking.
Yeah.
To play, you pay 4 CP during list construction to be able to list yourself as like a starter and piss Adam off, and you're actually GSC. Like,
I would pay that CP every tournament. Every tournament.
The War Mistress, yes, you unfortunately did miss the Dishonorable faction breakdown.
Yes,
it's
you can rewind after the show's over though. Don't worry.
It's a beautiful segment. Eldari Superfaction 15 mixed Eldari, 55 Drakari, 6 Harlequins, and 7 Asuryani. Now, before we go into the faction podium, Drakari,
yeah,
10 less than Custodes. We've been predicting that Drakari has its perception as possibly a red herring as it being the premier army list in the game. People are of the opinion that the target on their back is too big and that they'll be on a bit of a house of cards. Do you think that's going to hold true for LVO?
I don't know, to be honest, because we're looking at the faction breakdown now with Custodes too, and I've seen a lot of Thick City into Custodes. It is a rough match for Custodes because the -1 damage with your -2 damage close combat,
you can't do anything.
Rough.
Yeah, you can't do anything when you get there. But you have all the shenanigans, which is weird.
You do have shenanigans, which you need. You absolutely need that.
And the same as a GSC player. GSC player has all the shenanigans, but no real ability to just pick them up wholesale, you know?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of things that they do that help them in that matchup too. Like when Thick City's gonna be using the reroll to wounds, Custodes can respond with, okay, well, I shut your rerolls off.
No rerolls. Congratulations, you wasted a CP. Yeah.
Because yours is 2 CP, Custodes only 1 to turn up your reroll. So it's like
it's
net positive for them.
All right, so that faction podium. Custodes. 65 lists. 65 number 1.
Custodes,
65 lists.
the most represented faction at LVO.
Who would have predicted that 3 months ago? It would have been Drakari first, Orcs second. Yeah. Orcs and Nids coming in second at equal 62. I don't know what the odds are of a 1,000 player, whatever the crap we've got, but both of them being on 62, that's got to be some craziness. And then third, Drakari with 55. Big drop off for third as well. 7 lists behind and 10 lists behind the first place. What do you make of that podium? Anything interesting?
Well, obviously the Custodes that's the biggest shocker to me because they went from being probably the least represented next to like Tau and GSE to the most represented. Orcs doesn't surprise me. The Nids doesn't surprise me, but it's nice to see. Nids right now, I think we talked about it before the show too. Like I think the Force of the Highbind right now is the strongest list right now. I think it is.
I think so. There's a couple of guys taking that. I think there's Tyler Bortell and Alex McDougall, 2 very good players, both playing for top Forces of the Hive Mind, I believe. I think Tyler's ahead, although don't quote me on that. But I think, and from the chats I've had with other top players, that's possibly the highest ceiling in the game, but it's also the highest floor.
Yes.
So that's a list you have to have faction mastery of both factions to play well, because like what happens, man, if you misplay?
If you misplay once, you lose half your army.
It's ridiculous. There's no bigger glass cannon. But the shenanigans are absolutely intense. Like the double moves and the blips and the redeployments back in the shadows. Pretty impressive. Nicholas James in the chat. Adam, any thoughts on GT Nachman making it so there's no longer any soup excuse for the Neanderthals to register as the starties? You want to touch a sec before I launch?
You go.
I love and loathe this change. The no soup factions. I think it unduly harms some armies that have almost been built to need more than one faction. Orcs is a great example, who never had the opportunity to soup with any other faction anyway, but their army is built in such a way that mono sub faction is way worse. Only Goths, I think, possibly they're the freebooters list, but most many lists I see had Evil Sons, had Goths, had not snake bites, Death Skulls. There's an amalgam list there that's very MSU potent. It's actually going to hurt them quite a lot because so much of their power is in the faction, like relics and warlord traits and specific stuff. And the Sisters got hit by the points and like almost put behind the shed and just old yelled because of that. But unless that Bloody Rose supplement is just super strength, I really worry for Sisters.
Yeah, I would worry for Sisters. You know who else it really hurts, Adam? Do you know who else it really hurts? Yeah, it hurts Grey Knights too, but I don't care about them. Nobody cares about them. Come on. Who do I care about them? Who do you think it really hurts?
Mono Knits?
It hurts GSC.
Really does it? Because but you already have caveats in there saying that mono sub faction to get crossfire.
Yeah, we do now because this other thing came in, right? But
yeah, because of that.
It would still be worth in some cases because we get different psychic powers, we get different relics to split up our factions a little time. But I would actually give up crossfire in certain builds.
Yeah,
because you can get like 5-up invulns, you can get your.
I was about to say
strength and movement.
Pauper Prince backfield.
Yeah.
The
combos you could get with it would actually be very strong, but it just before we got the chance to think about it, nah, you don't get that.
Yeah, well, I had a great meme to the last Dread list that was Space Wolves and Iron Hand successors. Well, sorry, actual Space Wolves and Iron Hand successors, where it was like 3 bodyguarded like super dreads that no one could shoot, and there's just a punch your face off, and also had like 4 units of Devastators, 4 units of Vanguard vet equivalents, because Space Wolves have different non-rule of 3 breaking Vanguard and Devastators. So that was going to be a cute list, but now out to pasture as well. I'll delete it in my battle scrub in the morning. So yeah, top players in attendance. Shifting gears, let's tell you about the top players. So we have 8 of the top 10. So I think we actually have 9. No, he's not in the top 10. Never mind. Because there's one gentleman who apparently is coming to this event who nobody thought was coming, and at the last minute either pulled a coup and was pulling one over our eyes. But Richard freaking Siegler, the reigning, essentially the last time we had a full ITC season, he was the winner, and he has been. I don't think he's dropped. He doesn't.
Yeah, and see the thing with Richard
too, a very long time. He's been for you.
I think he's 11th with only 5.
He hasn't maxed out. He's
11th without LVO.
He's been to 5 3-day events and has won all 5 of those 3-day events.
So he can still come out of nowhere and
he's the X factor.
Win ITC. He could.
We're going to talk about AdMech a little bit after we go through this, because we're going to go through this meta. We're going to unpack what everybody's bringing, because we got 8 of the top 10 players in the freaking world at attendance at the LVO. It's going to be absolutely brutal. Let's jump off at the start. You want to take the first one, mate?
I'll take the first one. It is Manny Chima, first in the world with. I hate even talking about this list because it hurts my soul.
Yeah, it does.
But 171 racks.
Yeah.
171 racks.
Correct.
With Artisans of Flesh. With Drazar, a Succubus, another Archon, and a Homunculus, of course, because why not have them all with toughness 5? Why not? And a Court.
Yeah.
Court of the Archon, of course.
So he's got 120-man rack unit, which is going to be a to the last. He's got Drazar, who's a to the last, and the Court of the Archon is a to the last. And then he's just going to play the board. He's actually ridiculously good into Crusher Stampede, into Nids, into the mirror match. It's actually it's incredible. Like
it's insane.
He's just going to do really well. The only thing I worry about him on the clock. The
clock will be an issue for sure, because that is a lot of models and a lot of careful movement to make sure you're on the right places and engaging the right stuff. But I mean, it's Manny. He's played it before. He knows what he's doing with it.
He just won a super major with it the weekend.
Just won a super major with it, so.
Like this is like I've been calling him the Sith Lord because he only deals in absolutes. This is an absolute Sith Lord list. There's an absolute Sith. Like that's it. No more to say there. Moving on. John Lennon's up next, second in the world. He's playing Custodes. I know this list intimately. I've had it kicking my ass for the last 2 weeks. He's got an Emperor's Chosen Battalion. He's taking Trajan, a Dawn Eagle Shield Captain on Jetbike, of course, 5 Prosecutors, 2x3 Sagittarium, 2 Achilles Contemptor Dreadnoughts, a unit of 3 Wardens, 2x3 Virtus Praetors, a Caladius tank, and 5 Voids Men-at-Arms. This is a really interesting list. What do you make of it, dude?
It's different than what we normally see with a lot of the custodians lists, but I know from personal experience because I've been playing against a lot of custodians lately because I need to get to know them.
Yep.
It's good. It's actually got a lot of different tricks that you wouldn't. It got shooting that a lot of custodians lists are actually missing, and its close combat is terrifying.
So this is the thing, yeah. We play tested we only had this book for 2 weeks. We didn't get anything early at the Art of War crew, at least not yet, until GW decided to censor stuff. But we realized you get good combat as a custodians player by default.
Yep.
So we went about making the boys went about making a shooting custodians list that could hold its own, and then we realized as soon as we did that custodians, and this list in particular, is possibly the most well-rounded list we've seen in 9th edition. It just does everything well.
It does everything.
Crazy. It moves well, shoots well, fights well, and it has jank for days.
Yeah, it's actually insane. I don't like playing against the custodians list now because they're good at everything. The only thing I can beat them in is psychic. But even then, they get acceptable pain.
If you are not prepared for what custodians do, they're going to feel like a fun blanket.
Oh yeah,
because they just turn off all your special rules. You get no rerolls. You get transhuman. You got tangle-footed. You got they're just like, oh, all these things. They have a response, and just like, you got Dakatari'd, so you can't pile in or consolidate. You -1 attacked because you turned into Shadow Keepers, and it just keeps going crazier from there. And it can be really annoying.
Yeah,
it's really annoying.
I'm gonna do this. Like, no, I'm gonna turn that off. Like, oh, well,
yeah.
Okay. I guess not.
It's absolutely crazy. You want to do the next one? What's up next?
Next up, we got Brad Chester, 3rd in the world, and he's bringing the Crusher Stampede, Leviathan Battalion with the Neurothrop Swarm Lord, 3x3 Warriors, 6 Hive Guard, a Lictor, 2 Dimecharons, 2 Scythe Heradules, and a Harpy. Just a single Harpy. It's actually a really, really good list. I love the Dimecharons. I love the Scythe Heradules. I actually prefer the Barbs myself, but it's not too surprising to see him bring the Scythe Heradules because of the bonuses they'll be getting with the Crusher Stampede. They can get 2d3 extra attacks. So with the Flamers too, they can deal with hordes. They can deal with big things. They do a lot of damage. The Harpies giving fight last because they charged into something is actually a big deal too. So it makes a big difference for most of the lists will be fighting against that. He doesn't want to fight against them. If you're fighting Custodes, fight last. Fighting Thick City, fight last. Just because I charged in you. It's actually really good for that. I think I lost Adam. Oh crap. Okay. Well, you know what? We're just going to go to the next one, and then Adam can come back in when he gets back on. Next up, we got Sean Naden, 4th in the world, bringing Drukhari. No surprise there. Triple Patrol. Oh no. Now I have to actually try and determine what Adams was trying to say here. BHTOS. Help me out, chat. What's he saying in here? You can see that on the screen, right? Yeah, you can. All right. Help me out, chat, if I'm getting any of these wrong. Stim in. Okay. An Archon. Minimum rack squad. 5 Incubi, 5 Scourge, 2 Raiders, then a Succubus in the next patrol, 3 Witches, 5 Incubi, 2x10 Hellions, Drazar, 5 Trueborn, 5 Incubi, 5 Scourge, and 3 Venoms. Triple Patrol Blackheart. Thank you. Thank you very much. Worms. Oh, Eric. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. You're helping me out here. Making sure I'm not going to mess any of these up too badly. So there you go. It's Sean Naden style. It is completely off the wall. Has everything that he needs. Just a lot of MSU. He loves his MSU. He loves his Drukhari. He'll be able to do well with it. I have trouble figuring out how it works, and that's exactly why it works, because it's Sean Naden using that. And Adam's back. Is he actually back? There he is. You're back. You're coming through loud and clear. You have returned, sir. Welcome back. Oh, no. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Apologies. Where are we at, my man?
We are at Sean. I just went over Sean Naden's list.
Okay, so I want to backtrack slightly because I think there's some things I need to tell you about Brad Chester. For those who don't know, Brad has some health issues. He's not really shy about telling you. He has had some complications. He was hoping to bring a Forces of the Hive Mind list. He was actually planning to bring something very similar to what John's been playing, but minus the Gene Stealers, the Swarm Lord, and a few other bits and pieces, and just adding in a bunch of Twisted Helix craziness. Yeah. And I'm sure you're a big fan of that. But he's found that he's worried about his body failing, worried about his health, and so he's taking something that's far less intensive on him. Very few options, but they need to be done correctly. Not far less to move, far less to deploy, and so that's really informed. It's crazy to see somebody who's third in the world still saying my health's more important. I'm not going to put myself under too much strain. I'm just going to play something that I'll have fun with, but won't do my head in.
Yeah, exactly. That's important to know. This is still a hobby. You want to have fun. You want to be able to enjoy your hobby for as long as you can, right? So health always comes first, guys. But this is still a really good list, and it's still being played by a really good player.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely right.
if you're at the table with Brad Jester, just have a fun game with him. He's there for fun.
Exactly right.
Just remember, if he beats you, he could have beaten you worse.
Damn straight. Now, what was your verdict on the Sean Naden list? What are your thoughts?
My verdict on the Sean Naden list is that I don't quite get it, and that's why I like it, because it's Sean Naden playing it.
That's the thing, yeah. It just looks like a list from 6 months ago. Yeah. Except that it's missing that much extra stuff it had 6 months ago.
Yes.
So this is one of the first times where I'm actually worried about Sean, whether or not he's going to make that top 8. I'm pretty sure he will because he's him. But looking at this list, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. Funnily enough, there are some very simple matchups that I think he has trouble with. Like, Grey Knights are actually quite good here.
Yeah, they might actually have trouble with them. Like,
so
I'm still worried about even Custodies even.
Yeah, well, only thing he has into the Grey Knights is 2 units of Hellions. I think if the other one is Crusher Stampede, he goes seconds against Crusher Stampede. Both units of Hellions get picked up, especially if they've got the redeploy or if it's Dawn of War, when you can't really hide the Hellions, that's put them off the board, and then they come down, have to make the charge, or they're dead. So there is some real worries in this meta for him, but I full confidence in the pilot, right? He's an absolute gun.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. If I saw this list in anybody else's hands, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah,
because it's Sean Naden, I'm used to seeing this in him. So
yeah, literally, you see it on anybody else, you're like, living in the past, move on. But Sean, you're just like, you can never count him out, man. So for those of you who don't know, Sean Naden has won the LVO before. I think he won in 2016, and he has never not made the top 8 of an LVO. Never. It's one of the legends of this event. One of the legends, like the urban myths almost, and one of the real, true, amazing legacies that we have. So I'd love to see him continue it. Malik Amin Rubio, tell us a story.
A story? Okay, well, I'll tell you what he has.
He's fifth in the world. I suppose that'll do, right?
Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so he's 5th in the world, and he's also bringing Crusher Stampede, Leviathan Battalion, a Flyrant, Swarmlord. I love the Flyrants. It's Crusher Stampede, by the way. I'm a big fan.
Dustin, can you hear me? We lost Dustin. Okay, we may have lost Dustin. The sound continues. Can you guys hear me? Can you please tell me if you can hear Adam? Dustin, can't hear you. No, Dustin. Is Adam coming through? Yes, all right. I'll give you Malik Amin Rubio's. Well, it's his time. I had my little time out. It's time for his little nap time. You can take your break, Dustin. I can't hear you. I don't know what's going on. All right, Malik Amin Rubio, 5th in the world, playing Nids, Crusher Stampede, Flyrant, double Flyrant. There's actually a bit of a hot take from him. I'm not quite sure why he's done it, but it's very rare that we see the double Flyrant. Double Flyrant Swarmlord, 3x3 warriors, 6 Hive Guard with 2 Lictors, 2 Scythe Hero Jewels, and 2 Harpies. Now, I went past, he was playing some test games with him and a couple of his crew, and I asked him, like, why the 2 Harpies? Because I would prefer having no Harpies. If I was running that list, I can hear you now, mate. Done. Tell us. I mean, I don't think the Feist last. I don't think the Feist last hour, but why do you need 2? Can't have them both up at the same time. They don't do any damage.
Mortal wounds. They can block. They can move block with the spore mines they drop.
Yeah, I mean especially with things like kill rigs and stuff. The spore mines are so memey. But still, 2. You could drop both. How many points are they each?
Like 140 or something.
Yeah, you could get a Demicheron, which is the one thing I wish this list had.
I love Harpies, to be honest. I wish, and I'm glad people are bringing them. I will concede, I still don't think they're that great, but they definitely have play.
I don't.
They definitely have more play than they did before.
Absolutely. I think I could very much make a case for one in a list. Definitely can't make a case for two, for me personally, and how I'd run it. But I'm not the pilot. Malik's number 5 in the world, and I'm here sitting on a stream. But so what I saw when I saw his list, the double flyer, because I read this down, I'm like, oh yeah, he's probably playing for the terrain. He wants to be able to negotiate the player plays terrain, and so it doesn't hurt him. So I expected to see Dimakerons, 2 flyers, 2 Dimakerons. Who cares about terrain? You're going to go get them wherever they may be. It felt really good. And then he had none. I thought that was quite interesting.
But I love the Flyrants though, and I actually prefer. That's what I prefer the Flyrants over the Dimakerons.
Well, that's what I was saying. I was saying have both, and then no terrain bothers you whatsoever.
See, I'm also of the opinion that I actually like the barbed heraldry better than the scythed.
That's a good discussion. Yeah, I think I can definitely see that.
Just 3d6 shots is a little unreliable. They have 2 extra attacks than the barbed heraldry does, and they have a 3-up save instead of a 2-up that the barb does. For 30 less points?
I'm finding a lot of the time that 2-up doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
Really? I find that 2-up is amazing.
Well, I find that they usually got the 4-up on them. They usually either going straight to the 4-up or straight to the 5-up, and the 2-up doesn't touch the sides that much, because the monster they want to kill cops all the melter guns, the las cannons, all that stuff. But you're right, against all the small arms, it will make a difference. You're absolutely spot on.
I get a lot of small arms fired at my barbed heraldry when I use them, so I mean, like, maybe I just noticed that more, because obviously the big guns are more useful against them, but I think they come in handy. There's a lot of -2 out there, and then you don't need to worry about getting the 4-up involved on them, especially if you have 2 of them.
That's true. All right, next up, Jack Harpster, ranked number 6th in the world. He's playing the exact same list as John Lennon. So that's Custodes, Emperor's Chosen Battalion, Trajan, Dawn Eagle, Shield Captain, 5 Prosecutors, 2x3 Sagittarium, 2 Achilles, 3 Wardens, 2x3 Venatari, a Caladius, and 5 Void's Men-at-Arms. Why both boys bringing it, you think?
Because it's
good. Is
it
that good? Is it that good, though?
Is it that good?
Yeah.
And the hand people that have been playing with it and against it for a while, like since it came out straight. Yeah, I could see that. Like if you're good enough with it and you're comfortable with it, why not?
Yeah.
Like the hilarious thing would just be a mirror match, though.
Yeah. That'd be funny
that's
as
that's
hell.
the only unfortunate part of when you're doing that, because when you fight each other, it's like, dice game.
Jay Aussie has asked, hey guys, love the channel. Do you think a Shadowkeeper's Custodes force can compete with Emperor's Chosen as a top one? What do you think about that?
I do. I absolutely do. I think Emperor's Chosen is the best one. I think everybody thinks that. But I do think the Shadowkeepers is actually in contention with it, because I've played against a couple of Shadowkeepers too. The -1 attack all the time is devastating to a lot of close combat. There's a lot of close combat armies out right now. So that actually makes a lot of sense to me.
Exactly right. I feel like if you're gonna play more of a bully style Custodes, let's like get into the center with some shield guards, some Alaris, meatiness. You're not trying to play a shooting game or the periphery or pace things out. If you're just going to shoot for the middle and like I'm going to grind you out so much better than me, I think Shadowkeepers is actually hands down better than Chosen. I don't think you can make that really well-rounded, beautiful Custodes army as Shadowkeepers. I feel like you have to lean in real hard on them. But yes, I do think that is an absolute contender. There is that list out there where it's just got like 2 or 3 units of 5 shield guard backed up by the killiest characters you can make, and then like the Laris and the Wardens and stuff, and you're just like gonna push, and there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Anthony Vanilla up next. You want to tell us about that?
I will tell you about that. Oh, I get the Drukhari. Come on. 7th in the world. Still bringing in Drukhari, which is a triple with roll, and that is Artist of Flesh, and BH. What's BH, Adam?
Blackheart.
Blackheart. Okay, that makes sense. What the heck is a Harmonk? I'm gonna say it's a homunculus.
Homonk, yeah. So I just typo sometimes,
Right.
I did this at 12:30 in the
Okay.
past
Anthony
midnight.
Vanilla has a Harmonk in his list. He's got 9 Haymoxes. That's actually not bad. That's okay. 5 Grotesques, 2 times 3 Talos, and then Drazart with 5 Racks, 5 Grotesques, 2 times 1 or 2 to single Chronos. Okay.
Yep.
A Court of the Archon, an Archon, 5 Cabalettes in a Raider.
Beautiful. Yeah, so he's it's quite clever here. The small Blackheart patrol. There are so many things you want to vect at the moment.
Yeah, see, this is where it hurts everybody else. They can't mix and match, but Drukhari still can technically. I know they can't do 2 different cabals and stuff, but
Yep.
that didn't really matter too much, right? Because they can still get
Nah.
all the tools they need in there. So I think that makes a lot of sense. 2 times 3 tails, I love that. 2 times 1 Chronos, I actually like that.
I'm a huge fan of the single Chronos. I think they're such a pain to remove for their points. They don't kill. They're like a rhino, you know. You're like. I hate that there's a rhino getting really annoying on me, but I really don't have the melters to spare right now. So here we go. I really like them in there.
Yeah, it makes sense. You know, traveling up there with the Harmonks, and it'll get a good toughness 7. They'll still be durable. They're pain to remove. They'll do well. I like that.
So Anthony's been playing nothing but Thick City this pretty much since Drukhari came out. So this is a really refined list for him. I mean, personally, I feel like it's like if I was playing it, I'd have way more racks, probably either less Talos or less Grotesques, because he's got 6 Talos, 10 Grotesques, and a bit of everything around it. And it's probably because he's just so damn refined and good with the list.
Of course. Now. And to be honest, I'm saying the same thing as you. Like, I actually like more racks. I feel like the core of a lot of these lists should be a bunch of racks, but obviously if you're feeling comfortable with this one, it's really good. The 5x5 Grotesques is very, very strong.
Yes, I agree. It's really good. Last one, Colin McDade, 8th in the world. He's taken a Harlequins battalion, a single Harlequins battalion.
Whoa, pure.
It's really really interesting. Really interesting. It's got a Shadow Seer, 2 Troop Masters, 6x5 Troop, a single Death Jester, 2x5 Skyweavers, and 6 Starweavers. It's as simple as you could be. It's kind of the best single detachment Harlequins you can make, because it's pretty much the only Harlequin battalion you can make.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, absolutely.
But look, it's good. He played this for quite some time until I think he jumped around from a little bit of Drukhari, a little bit of Admech as well. It's interesting to see him come back around it at the end of the season. What do you make of it? Do you think this can hang?
I think it can hang. The only thing that worries me with the Harlequins and Fusion, especially because Soaring Spike, I'm assuming those troops all have Fusion on them, is it's very swingy. Very swingy.
Hugely swingy. Yeah.
So if you get it to go your way, then it's because it's so swingy, because that damage, and you need to roll well on the damage, and strength 8, because a lot of things you're firing at are going to be T8, a lot of T7 in there, but it's actually good into Thick City if you roll well on your damage.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's a big if.
So I feel like this is just a list that's going to get a crazy. So possibly Colin's just taking this because he wants that best in faction Harlequins, right?
Yeah, I would see
legitimately.
Yep, I'm assuming so.
Because
I can't. Go ahead.
People make those choices at the end of the season, where they're just like, well, I'm not sure I'm willing to play the best thing in the game right now, whatever that may be, because a lot of people do find Crusher a bit boring. A lot of people do find, Custodes are not for them in that elite style or whatever, or something like Forces of the Hive Mind might be just too intensive for them this late in the season. So look at the things that they can win. Could very well be that Colin McDay's like, well, if I just play LVO with Harlequins, I win. Harlequins best in faction. And man, if you're happy with that, that's an amazing achievement.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Like, it's really strong army still. Can it hang in the very, very top with the right pilot? Sure, absolutely.
I look at these lists and I'm like Crusher Stampede can only kill so many things a turn. You know, this list taps the Hive Guard turn 1 on Dawn of War.
Yeah,
you're not going to get to shoot, and you're going to spend all game defending your Hive Guard rather than sending things out to come get me.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually don't mind it.
I like it. In terms of Harlequin lists, I think this is pretty much the best you could bring.
It is. The only thing I hate is the Skyweavers just don't feel good at the moment. There's no vehicles for them to go get, really. The Skyweavers just feel... And they're damaged.
They're bringing their dreadnoughts and stuff now.
But still, the Emperor's Chosen. You got 4 up against... 4 up against the Mortals. Like, it just doesn't... They feel really bad at the moment. I wish... And their damage 2 in combat just doesn't do a damn thing.
It's not all about the damage too. Like you're saying, like, they're going to be there and they're going to tie up the Hive Guard all game too.
Well, exactly right. So that's what they're there for. But God, it's an expensive thing for them to do. Like, that's so expensive for that role.
They're also going to have like a 3-up invul. Like, they're going to be tough to shift. It's just they're annoying. They're really annoying.
Yeah, they're annoying. But that's the thing. They should be like a premium offensive unit, and none of what they does feel good except the speed. And so it's just that data sheet isn't good enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is the top 8. There's 8 of the top 8 in the top 10 in the world in attendance. This thing is going to be an absolute Shark Tank, fearsome contest.
Which it should be.
What are your winners, mate? Give us a podium of either factions or names. I don't mind, or do both.
Factions or names? Okay, so let's do factions first because I think that one will be easier. I think Force of the Hive Mind is going to be in the podium for sure.
Nice.
I think Custodes, and I think Drakari is still going to do it too.
So there's only one faction that I think can win this thing that's not represented in the top 8, and that's Orcs. There's no Orc list that's being taken by a top 8 player. I expect to see Orcs in the top 8. I do not expect to see them on the podium. I'm putting Custodes, Dark Eldar, Drakari, and Crusher Stampede as my podium in that order. Custodes, Drakari, Crusher, 1, 2, 3.
Okay,
we'll see how we go. I'm not willing to go out on names just yet because there's a lot of amazing names doing a lot of amazing things.
That won't be fair to them.
And it's not for, yeah, exactly right. But that is my order. And literally it's almost in the order of, except for switching Nids to third for Drakari, it's in order of faction podium as well.
Yep.
Yeah, switch second and third. That's my podium. So playing the odds there, Adam, safe. We're going to switch over to a segment that Paul would usually tell you about called the Fuego Rapido, where we answer some very silly questions and we have a minute in which to discuss them. We're going to dial it up and get that ready for you. But please, in chat, chuck up your faction podium predictions and we'll see how we go.
We want to see how everybody predicts it here. So we know how we go. Let's see how you go.
We know how we go. We go just fine.
We go Fuego.
Fuego is up and ready to roll. Let's get that going. First one. Prediction for the best faction directly after LVO. So using the new mission packet, using the new points, who's the best coming out of is first off into the new season?
Ooh, first off in the new season, that's actually a rough one. So I want to say Custodes, but with the new mission, I think there are armies that could potentially do it better.
Inexplicably, Custodes got points drops. I don't think they need. So I'm saying Custodes is going to be the best coming out of this. They do most of the new mission stuff, except for the new primary. A lot of the action-based stuff is not their forte because they need to be shooting or fighting. If they're like, you can't have 200 plus point unit just stand there being like, guess I'm going to put up this banner over here. It just sucks, So prediction for me is Custodes with a little bit of an asterisk, mostly because the points drops just seem nuts to me, knowing how powerful they are.
Asterisk. You're putting an asterisk on your prediction.
Yes. Look, Sam Lemon has come in. Custodes Drakari Orcs. Custodes will be top after LVO. No Astra Militarum in top 16, unfortunately.
I see, but I would, like I said, I put Custodes there as a knee-jerk reaction. But I think, especially because Custodes are actually going to be one of the top ones to deal with, I think Thick City is actually better because they have the ability to deal with them and they can still do all the actions, play all the missions really well. They do everything, and they can deal with the Custodes.
If Custodes had an actual secondary to take from their book, hands down, they'd be like S tier. Crazy. The literally the saving grace is they don't have like freaking Stubborn Defiance or some other stupid crap. I heard the Prey where they can just be like, here's my auto 15 for being this faction. And praise be the Emperor that they don't. Fuego in 3, 2, 1.
You don't have to count it down.
All right, let's hit on to the next one. A nastiest list in 9th edition so far.
You lead this one off, Adam.
Mine's got to be Dark Technomancer, Liquefier Spam. Drakari. Unnerfed Drakari, where they just had 5 racks, 2 liquefiers, 5 racks, 2 liquefiers, times 6 in boats, just killing you without interacting at all. That was the worst in 9th edition so far. I was just like, oh, this is revolting.
Okay.
I
think it's very close for between two, but I think pre-nerf. Well, you think you know what I'm going to say?
No.
No. Go ahead. You think you know what I'm going to say? I want. How well do you know me, Adam?
Sliding off screen.
Sliding off screen. You can't do that and then just kind of go. I still see your shoulders.
I thought you were going to say 18 Hive Guard.
See, I wasn't.
Well,
I think it was actually. It was pre-nerf orcs.
The Buddhas?
The Buddhas. That
See,
list was so oppressive, and there was just nothing you could do. It's uninteractive in that sense. If they go first, pack up.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
Well, you go first and kill 500 points. Doesn't matter. Pack up.
I don't care.
Didn't matter. Yeah. I was going to say that, but I don't feel like it was around long enough to really damage people's souls. It's almost like
so
people had a bad experience, but didn't take any like
Sure.
emotional trauma or baggage from it.
Okay.
Those Dark Technomancer liquefiers left scars like deep.
They were. That wasn't around for that long though. Really?
Maybe it's because I got like a gap between COVID where I got to play a lot of 40k in there, and that was the entire time.
Okay, so
I got to
that
play
was more of a
just like
personal hatred then. That was a personal
putrid.
vendetta you had.
Well, yeah, it's my opinion, baby.
Right, that's fair. Yeah, that's absolutely what I wanted.
Fuego. All right, up next. Never have I ever at 40k events. What's something you've never done at a 40k event?
Okay, we have to go back and forth a few times on this then.
I've got a few.
Yeah, I've got a few too. So, never have I ever puked on the table on a 40k event.
Pretty good, pretty good.
And I'm saying that because I've seen it happen. It was not
never
pleasant.
have I ever gone 1-4 at a 40k event.
Ooh.
Yep, your turn.
Never have I ever gone 2-3.
Never have I ever gone 2-3 at a 40k event.
You can't copy mine. What the hell?
Well, I was lining myself up for it with the 1-4, obviously, but yeah.
Oh, obviously.
Your turn.
Okay. Damn it. Never have I ever gone 0-5.
Nice. Never have I ever gone 3-3.
Never have I ever gone 3-3.
Nice.
Go that way?
Never have I ever gone 6-0. So, you know.
I can't say that.
There is that. Oh, rough. Kudos to you. Never have I ever gotten more than 8 hours sleep at a tournament.
That's a good one. That's really good. Never have I ever fallen asleep before 2 a.m. on a weekend tournament.
Ooh, nice. Never have I ever knowingly cheated. There's a good one.
Never have I ever knowingly cheated. Okay, let's.
No,
I can't not say that now. If you're saying that. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm stealing that, John. Never have I ever conceded.
Nice. I've conceded.
I like that one. Thank you, John.
I was playing guard into double speed Yanari. Yeah, it was bad.
Okay. I guess you can be.
Yeah, it was bad.
Like Messer Hands, never have I ever tied. That's a good one. I have tied way too. There was a tournament, a major. I tied twice.
That's pretty good.
But I didn't lose a game, so technically I was undefeated.
How long ago? So never mind, Fuego. We missed out. Next up, make a new 40k / AOS special character. Just invent a special character.
Invent a special character.
Yeah,
I've done that all the time, man. Haven't you heard of Jeff the Calamorph? He's Jeff, my two Calamorphs that I've already created now.
If you were going to write his data sheet, how would he be different to a regular Calamorph, and what's his backstory?
Well, if he's near, like Jeff and Jeff are brothers. One of them spelled with a J, the other one spelled with a G.
Mm-hmm.
So they always have to travel together. And whenever one of them shoots, they automatically, well, now I have to make the rules for the new ones. They automatically give him the other one crossfire, and they give him exposed, even if they're not actually crossing each other. And if they go back into the same transport, that transport then gets a 5-up invuln because they got in high 5 because they both killed something, and they're just tough now.
Cool. I would. So so it's twins. That's your story arc. There's these twin Calamorphs. That's cool. I like that. I'm gonna do an Ogre Kingdoms or whatever they're Ogres, more tribes,
whatever they're called now.
AOS. That is a parody of Kang from Ninja Turtles. It's an ogre with a Noblar living in his chest.
How does he survive?
It could. I don't know. It's just the power of the Maw, the Great Maw.
It's Age of Sigmar magic.
It's just it's like Age of Sigmar is like bonkers as hell anyway. But yeah, it's a parody of Kang, and he's actually a big brain Noblar because it's Noblar being as respected as a big ogre war boss, war chief, and just everyone everyone thinks it's a great Maw living inside his chest, but it's really just a really fat Noblar.
Ooh, I like that. I made a character for my. I have a Kerrigan. I made custom built Kerrigan for my GSC.
That's actually really cool. If you weren't going to do Kang, you could do Master Blaster instead and have a Noblar
Master Blaster
on the back of an ogre. That would be cool.
Mad Max.
Who run Bartertown? Yeah. All right. Last of the Fuegos. I am most grateful for X this last ITC season.
Oh, there's a couple.
Yeah, good. This
There's a
isn't
couple.
Thanksgiving or anything. This is end of the season. Be
We
grateful for some
just
stuff.
you just go once around the table. Oh, I want to talk more. No. Well, I mean, I'm most grateful for a new codex. I'm not gonna beat around the bush on that one for GSC.
I am most grateful for an incredible team that helps me do all these podcasts and.
Oh, you make me sound like a selfish asshole, and now you're awesome.
I mean, I wrote the questions, didn't I? So I lined you all up for that one.
You completely. Yeah.
I'm terrifically grateful for this team and for everyone in the community who supports all the crazy wacky stuff that me and all us other content creators get to do every year.
Yeah, I am actually really thankful for that. I'm thankful for being part of this team because this has been amazing journey. And it's always fun every Thursday, every weekend that we have these events. This community is awesome. The hobby is awesome, and I couldn't be happier to be a part of it.
I am grateful that G-Dub started running events again for the first time in 10 years. It's a big deal. It's actually a crazy big deal that they're doing that. And we should all be very grateful they're actually taking a freaking hand again.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize how big of a deal this actually is. Like, it's been, I can't even count how long.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's been like almost a decade, if not a decade.
If not a decade, yeah.
Yeah, your turn.
I am grateful that we're actually getting to go to events again.
Nice.
Because it's been a while since we've been able to, and it's been rough, and I'm grateful that people are still being safe about it at least.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm grateful. Yeah, I think a COVID one would be good. Yeah, I'm grateful that this community actually survived COVID. We made it. I was really worried as well. A lot of my friends lost a lot of interest. It was really hard to talk about the hobby with people because they're like, why are we talking about this? Like, let's talk about the weather instead. I'm like, no, we are these people. We are these people now. This is rough.
Yeah. No, we survived. We're here. We're strong, and we have the best tournament this weekend.
We do, and we're going to be. Is the coverage is going to be on this? Is the coverage going to be on this channel, guys, that you're watching on right now? Oh, Funline Gaming underscore TV on Twitch.
I don't know.
You're gonna watch and listen to me and Pete doing the main cast. Dustin's gonna be helping us on the sidelines. Rich is gonna be helping us in the field. We've got the wonderful Dice Check boys doing interview for you. Got a huge amount of interviews for the bear roll to be running while we don't have live coverage. It's gonna be freaking incredible. We have War Games Live gonna be doing this the undercard stream over on YouTube. So please go and support him. If you're an absolute baller and you got you can dual wield the screens. You got Adam and Pete and the Twitch stream, and then you can go and support Joe over on YouTube as well. Bang, bang, put them together. In addition, the next thing I'll tell you about, we're going to have the Spanish boys. The Spanish amazing 40K lads. What's the name of their stream? I can't remember. Apologies to the Spanish gents. We'll chuck the link in the description, but they're going to be literally watching along. We're going to get the same stream that we're going to be getting, and they're going to be translating and doing their own cast. So if you've got any Spanish speaking friends, anybody at all, shoot them over to there. Tell them all about it. It's going to be an incredible weekend of coverage. Dustin, your turn to spruik. If anything I missed.
No, I think you covered everything. This is just I'm too excited. I'm not going to be able to sleep much tonight either because I'll be looking forward to the whole weekend. I know there's going to be watch parties going around here. Not like the online watch parties for a lot of my buddies that aren't able to go. All us Canadians up here that couldn't go, we're all going to be watching it the entire time, and we're looking forward to seeing the kind of coverage we have. And we have so many options to watch too, so it'll be interesting to see.
It's going to be incredible, dude. And on that note, see you tomorrow. Join in, jump into the chat, tell your friends, tell your family, get involved, tell your mum, bring your dog. See you there.
We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Enjoy.